You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you. But I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me.
Welcome to the Shermer High Alumni Association. I'm Kristen.
I'm Janine.
And I'm Carol.
And we rewatch movies from the 80s to determine, did that age well?
We are entering the holiday season. It's too soon and we aren't ready. But we're kicking it off with a rewatch of the 1987 Thanksgiving classic, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
We remember the extraordinary comedic talent of John Candy and the absurdist comedy talent of Steve Martin. But do they go overboard on the cringe scale?
So join us as we rewind, rewatch, and remember the decade that shaped us. Hey guys,
Hello.
Howdy.
how are you?
I'm just doing awesome. How are you?
Good.
How was your week? Your wife had a birthday.
She did.
Yes.
The kids were over and we had a great time. So that was nice.
Good.
We went out to lunch with the in-laws and that was lovely as well.
Awesome.
And I'm just gearing up for I have finals next week. So that's been pretty much my week.
That sucks.
It does. And I've been Ubering. Have I mentioned that?
No.
Okay.
No.
And I don't know if this is in place in Ohio or not, but with both Uber and Lyft, they have the women only drivers and riders. And Lyft is called like Women Connect. And so I only drive women. And I will not. Yeah. So I think it's cool. And we just don't have enough women signed up for Uber and Lyft. And I saw that and I was like, I'm
Why
going to do this
not?
for a few hours. I work from home and I get a little like create when you just don't get out of the house, you become more introverted and I like driving around. So I do that a few hours a day and I love it. I just want to plug the whole women connect and the women drivers. If you've got some spare time, if you're out there and you need something to do, look into Uber or Lyft and their Women Connect offerings because
I
think
love that. That's what I would use.
That's very nice.
I would-
They're very cool.
Oh, my week has been terrible.
Why?
I spent 2 days straight crying.
Why?
Are we
I
putting
just-
this on the podcast?
Sure.
Okay, just checking.
I don't know. You know how you just have like certain days where just it feels like you just
Nothing's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
don't
how I
know.
was yesterday. I was really out of sorts yesterday.
Yeah, I felt, you know how like you just have all this like time where everything is just great. Everything's great. Everything's
Yep.
going great. And then all of a sudden it's like everything that can go wrong is just going wrong. And it's like I knew that there was something wrong with my car, which, hey, I get it. I was prepared for that. And I spent a ton of money last week fixing my car. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, yeah. And by the way, now there's like a whole bunch of other stuff that's wrong with your car. And it's going to be like an additional shit ton of money. And I was like,
jeez.
whoa. And then I got in my car and I realized that like my wheel wasn't straight. And I'm like, this isn't right. And it was pouring rain. And I got on the highway and my car is like drifting and floating. And I'm like, this isn't safe. And I'm crying the whole way to work. It was awful. It was
Ugh.
awful. And then I didn't feel safe driving home. And it was bad, just all bad. And then luckily I took it in today to a place out by work and they did an alignment on it. And it turned out that it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. There are some small things that need to be fixed on it, but it's not as horrible as this other person made it out to be. And
That's good.
yes. And then when I drove it home today was the first day that I was like, oh my God, this feels so much better.
Good.
My wheel is straight. And it's the first time that my car wasn't like it wasn't like a floating feeling, and it felt like I didn't have control of my car. That caused me to do a lot of crying. And so it was a little stressful.
Sorry. Do you feel better now, right?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Sorry.
Also
Sorry
the
that happened to you.
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Highs
you
and
know.
lows, man.
Yeah, but the week is over. It's Friday. We watched a really great movie.
Yes, we did.
So,
Carol, how was your week?
It was
yeah.
very fast. This was like the world's
You say
fastest
this-
week.
You say that every week.
Every week is very quick.
Because you have so much to do.
Do
You're
have
a
quite
busy
bit to
lady.
do,
You're a
and
busy
it's
lady.
it's very fun. Yeah, I mean, it was a very quick week, but nothing over dramatic or stimulating. It
Oh.
was a lovely week.
So you had a car, planes, trains, and automobiles. So you had an automobile. I have an airplane. This week we booked our tickets to Spain for
Ooh,
April. So that's
okay.
so our automobile. Okay, so do you have a train story, Carol?
I would love to go on a train. I would love to travel on a train.
I did have a client call this week about what's it called? Canyon Spirit. And it goes from Vegas to Denver. And you visit 5 national parks.
Ooh.
And you
That's
stay
killer.
you stay in luxury hotels every single night. And it's super cool.
How long is this trip?
It's 5 nights.
That's not bad.
It's very cool. It's also $7,000 a person.
Oh God.
I know.
My train story is I took the train downtown last weekend for a big protest.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
That's a train story.
There you go. So you were on a train.
Trains,
Trains.
and automobiles. There we go. Okay.
Love it.
Take it away, Carol.
All right. So, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles tells the story of Neal Page, an uptight marketing executive, and Del Griffith, a well-meaning but annoying salesman who become travel companions when their flight is diverted and embark on a 3-day odyssey of misadventures trying to reach Chicago in time for Neal's Thanksgiving Day dinner with his family. So that's what we have.
Yes.
And we are starring, of course, Steve Martin, who's the GOAT. He's a GOAT. He just turned 80 years old.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Holy granola.
That is
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he's 80. We all know.
Right. He's Only Murders in the Building, right?
Huh?
Why?
He's on the show. You guys don't watch Only Murders in the Building?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't watch anything.
Are you serious? Yeah. So Only Murders in the Building is Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez.
Oh wow.
I have seen advertisements.
Oh
but
yes. Okay. Yeah.
It's such a good show. It's
Is
so
it?
funny. Yeah.
What is it on?
It is on Hulu.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Or
Disney Plus.
I saw it on Disney Plus. Yeah. Okay.
Disney Plus and Hulu are the same stupid
Yeah.
company now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Disney Plus. It's funny. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's all good. We all know and love Steve Martin But here's some fun facts on how he got to where he is. His first job in high school was at the newly opened Disneyland from 1955 to 1958. He took on a passion for magic. By 1960, he had mastered several magic tricks and illusions and took a paying job at the magic shop in Fantasyland. After high school, Steve attended Santa Ana College, taking classes in drama and English, poetry, and he then enrolled at CSU Long Beach with a major in philosophy. In 1967, Martin transferred to UCLA and switched his major to theater. He dropped out of college at 21. He won an Emmy at 23 for his writing on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, and his first national appearance was on the show in 1968. And from there, he just took off.
And then we have John Candy, born in 1950 and sadly passed away in 1994. John grew up in Ontario, Canada, and that whole collection, that all of those Canadian comedy actors at that time, he was part of that. He attended the Neal McNeil Catholic High School. And before he considered acting, he wanted to become a professional football player, but due to an accident, he wasn't able to do that. I do think, and we'll talk about I Like Me, but he did end up buying a portion of a football team, I believe. And he started acting while he was in college. He did plays and some children's shows, and he really made a name for himself with Second City, Canada, and appeared on SNL twice, which doesn't seem like enough times. His first lead in a Hollywood film was Summer Rental in 1985, which sounds vaguely familiar to me, but we might have to put it on the list because it's John Candy. Candy passed away, sadly, in his sleep at only the age of 43 in March of 1994 while filming the movie Wagons East in Durango, Mexico. Netflix, I believe, just came out with the I Like Me documentary. Have either one of you watched that?
No.
No.
Oh, it is so good. And it's definitely a tearjerker, without a
Aw.
doubt, at the end. You just, Colin Hanks, I believe, directed it, if I'm not wrong. And everybody was in it. Catherine O'Hara, Steve Martin, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Macaulay
Isn't he dead?
Culkin. No,
Dan
he
Brown's
was
not
he
dead?
was in this. No, he's still alive.
That's
You know who
weird.
was in it? And I was like, he's still alive? Is Mel Brooks?
Whoa.
He is 99. He is
Holy
99
bejeez.
years old.
Wow.
100 next year. But you had Eugene Levy and Martin Short and all of these actors and actresses that came out to pay homage to their friend John. And I think sometimes I get John Candy mixed up with Tommy Boy. Who was that?
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. And they're like, and I don't know why. I don't know when Chris
Gone
Farley
in
died.
a
When did Chris
little
Farley die?
coat. I think around the same time-ish. No, it's later than 94.
97.
Okay.
So I think I think they both were cocaine users.
Yeah.
If you have not seen this documentary, please go watch it. It's very well done. I think it really does tell a good story about his life, and it just makes his death even sadder. But I Like Me, which is the name of the documentary, is from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It is a
Mhm.
line that he delivers in this movie. So just tying
Like me,
that.
my wife likes me.
It's me. Yes, yes. And also, this movie is directed by our good friend John Hughes, and there are no boobs.
Not
no-
one.
There are no boobs in this movie. So good job, John Hughes.
He grew up.
Okay.
So Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was released November 25th, 1987, which happened to be the day before Thanksgiving in that year. The budget for it was 15 million. That's a decent amount.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah. And it has grossed 49.5 million. So it's done pretty well.
Where did they shoot this? Okay, so they shot for 85 days. It was filmed mostly in New York, like the state. St. Louis scenes were done at Lambert Airport, some Illinois locations. So that's mainly where they shot this movie.
Of course, being John Hughes, it has to have a Chicago base.
Yes, right. It's got to have some Illinois connection. But on the wiki, if you can go check out the wiki, because there is an actual map of their route. So their intended route was from LaGuardia, New York to Chicago O'Hare. But they are,
Don't even get me started on LaGuardia, man.
oh yeah, it
Mm.
is.
I don't wish LaGuardia on my worst enemy.
They've done a lot to it.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of updates to it. Because that's where Alana got stranded there once.
I got
1 year.
stranded there for 27 hours.
Oh, ew. And so their flight takes off. And so the flight doesn't go to Chicago. It actually goes to Wichita because that's the closest airport they can get to. And then they take a train, then a bus, and shows the bus route. Then the rental car shows the rental car route. And then the milk truck, and it shows that route.
Thought it was
So
a cheese truck.
Oh, it is a cheese truck. The wiki's wrong.
Yeah, what?
And I don't know what the truck was called on the
Oh.
outside. It might have been called dairy or something like that.
Oh, it was cheese.
Yeah, you're right. Somebody needs to go fix that.
Yeah.
But I like the map. I thought the map was cool because I'm a nerd and I like data, and that was data. So
You are a nerd.
I
love
am.
maps.
I
I could
love
start maps all
maps.
day.
I know. I do. Yeah. So do we have anything else on this movie we want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's get into it.
Hey, fans of Shermer High, did you know that you can pop over to our website and get access to things like show notes, behind the scenes footage, and if merch? There's a community board to discuss this week's movie and much more to come. Visit us at Shaw Podcast. That's SHAA podcast.com. Now let's dive into that rewatch.
All right. So it's 2 days before Thanksgiving. And we see Neal Page, who is an advertising executive. He's got a suit and tie on, the whole deal. He's in a meeting with an executive who can't really make a decision. And he really wants to just get home to his family in Chicago for Thanksgiving. But his meeting is running late because, of course, it does. And he's in full panic mode. He's got to catch the 6 p.m. flight out of LaGuardia. And he's trying to get out of Midtown and he's fighting for a cab. And he finally manages to try and catch this cab. He decides to bribe this guy and pay him for this cab. Except while he's paying this guy, somebody else actually nabs this cab. And the cab takes off and Neal ends up somehow screwed out of this cab. And actually in this scene, Kevin Bacon and him Kevin Bacon and
Oh,
him,
Oh, right.
yeah, actually start running towards the same cab.
Yeah.
And so I kind of looked up why Kevin Bacon was even in this movie. And so I did a little deep dive into that. And so there's a scene where Neal calls home and his wife is in bed watching a movie. She's having a baby, which
Mhm.
actually came out after this movie. And
Are you
Kevin,
serious?
Yeah.
yes. And
I love
Kevin,
that movie.
me too. And
I love
Kevin
that.
Bacon is actually wearing an outfit from that movie in this movie.
Yeah.
People are like, wait a minute.
That's
He's
funny.
actually playing his own character in this movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. So Kevin Bacon. And anyway, so he manages to get to the airport with 2 minutes to spare, which he would have never have even made.
This
So-
is pre-TSA days.
right.
Free
where-
TSA.
where he just into the airport and his gate is like right there. So he gets into the airport, 2 minutes to spare, and then he finds out that the flight is delayed. And fun fact is that Ben Stein is the one who actually announces that the flight is delayed.
Yes.
Ben Stein.
Ben Stein.
Yeah, he sits down and he's, shit, my flight's delayed. And he glances across from him and he realizes that the guy who's sitting across from him is actually the guy who stole the cab from him. And he's just sitting there chilling, no big deal. And finally, they end up getting onto the plane, and he has this interaction with this flight attendant who's, hey, I'm sorry you got bumped to coach. And Neal's, no, I paid for a first class ticket. And she's tough. You got bumped to coach. You have to sit in coach, or I don't know what to tell you. And you can see that Neal's kind of a jerk, is that I paid for first class. I deserve first class. He ends up actually sitting next to this guy who stole the cab from him. So he's not happy about that. And
So John is, or Dell is reading a book.
yes,
He's reading the Canadian Mounted.
yes.
And just little trivia might help some of you with trivia night. In Deadpool, I think, and Deadpool 2, Ryan Reynolds is seen reading this book as an homage to his fellow Canadian comedic star.
Aw, that's
I know.
cute.
Adorbs.
So, yeah, they end up sitting next to each other on the plane. Neal finds out that this guy's name is Del Griffith. What's so funny?
I'm just thinking of this scene. It's just
Yes.
funny.
He finds out that his name is Del Griffith. He sells shower curtain rings, like, professionally. And apparently he's the best in the world at it, which
Good for
who
him.
the-
Great.
who knew that was even a competition? Apparently it is.
Love
So-
that for him.
Yeah, so
yeah.
these two are total opposites, and now they're just stuck side by side. And just when they think they're finally headed home, the plane gets diverted to Wichita, Kansas.
So Dell does like every passenger's like worst experience, right? He takes off his shoes and his socks.
Yes.
I would tweak out if someone did that on a plane.
Yeah, I would. I like, and it's just so funny. Yeah, these dogs are tired, and it was like, oh my god, it still holds true today, right?
Yeah,
It still holds true today.
I say it all
Fucking
the time.
shoes on. Keep
My
your fucking
dogs are
shoes on.
yelping.
Do
It's
you?
so
Yeah.
gross. Oh yeah, all the time. My dogs are yelping.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Don't do it while you're taking off your shoes on an airplane.
Yeah, no, I won't do that.
It's disgusting.
Sorry. go
Plus,
ahead.
who knows if they even clean the floors and like you're taking off your shoes and like touching the floor on the plane. Ugh. Yeah.
I have airplane socks.
What
Yeah.
does that
Airplane
mean?
socks.
What does that mean?
If you're in like Polaris or whatever, lay down seats, you typically get an amenity bag.
Yeah.
And you get basically the equivalent of hospital socks.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
your
like
airport
just that
socks?
plain socks.
Airplane socks? Okay.
Yeah. And just
Gotcha.
recycle them.
They end up in Wichita, Kansas, and they find out that their flight has been canceled. So they're stranded. And that's when the real chaos begins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Neal and Dell, remember, they barely know each other. And they go, there's like a line for the phone, the payphone. Neal calls home. And then he calls around to see if he can find a hotel. Everybody's booked. And he sees that Dell is like in line behind him. And he kind of makes small talk with Dell. And he's, yeah, I can't find a hotel. And Dell's, I
I got a
actually,
guy.
I got a guy. I sold shower curtain rings to this guy. So I can get you a room. They end up sharing this pimped out cab that
That thing
it's
is awesome.
it's pretty sweet. So they
So
end
good.
up sharing this pimped out cab to a place called the Braidwood Inn. And yeah, it's pretty bad. They roll up to this
Mm.
motel. It's like you can just smell it through the screen. It's like dumpy, sketchy.
You can smell the bed bugs and cocaine.
Yeah.
Except for Janine, all of us have partied in a hotel room like this.
Listen, I've done the same, okay? There's a lot you don't know about me, Kristen.
Okay.
There's things you couldn't understand. Things you shouldn't understand. Things you couldn't understand. All right?
Janine's
Okay.
a rebel.
Yes.
A loner.
Yes. Anyway, this motel is like a whole vibe. So, of course, they go in and the owner of the motel is, "Oh my gosh, Dell, I love you." But we've only got one room left and it's a single bed. Like it's a single bed, a double single bed. And so now these two have to share a bed. Neal tries to make the best of it. They go in. I'm going to take a shower. We've been traveling. He comes out of the shower and the bathroom looks like it's been hit by like a swamp hurricane. Towels are everywhere.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. There's medication all over the counter.
It escalated very quickly.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like water everywhere. Dell has used every single towel. There's like all the washcloths are gone. The
No,
floor
there's
is
the one washcloth. 'cause
One
he gets
Yeah,
to
there's
use one.
like one washcloth in the
Wow.
towel rack, and like the floor is basically like a lake. And Neal's standing there, what fresh hell is this? So meanwhile, Dell's out there being Pete Dell. He's like making all these weird noises, and Neal's, I'm just gonna lay down, whatever. And he's trying to go to sleep, and Dell starts making all these gagging noises and just talking. And Neal's, I just want to go to sleep. And finally, Neal just snaps and you're like a chatty Cathy doll that won't shut up. And he's like totally roasting him. And for a second, Dell just sits there. And finally, I think Neal is, you're super annoying. And
Is this the I like me scene?
yeah, I think it is, where he's like, you're just super annoying. And why don't you shut up and just let me go to sleep? And this is where Dell is, you know what? I like me. My wife likes me, whatever. And so basically, I think Neal is like, yeah, hey, I guess I am being a jerk here. So they awkwardly go to sleep. And then there's still a little bit of tension in the air. But in the middle of the night, you actually see a burglar who breaks into their hotel room. And he just steals all of their money out of their wallets. And neither of them wake up to this burglar, which is strange. So they're totally broke. And so it gets better.
I will say it's not so strange because we had someone break into a place we stayed in Myrtle
Really? While you were
Yeah.
in the room sleeping?
While you were in
while
it?
we were sleeping.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a whole thing. They didn't Joe and I didn't have anything out, but our friends we were staying with did. And they got some money out of her purse that was on the like kitchen table. But
Wow.
Yeah, we had
We'll have
no
to-
That's
idea.
crazy.
No
wow.
idea.
We'll have to hear that story later, but interesting. Anyway, they wake up in the morning and they're spooning each other. And
That's so adorable.
Della's the big spoon and Neal's the little spoon, and Dell's kissing Neal's ear, and he's like, "Why are you kissing my ear?" And he's, "What? Where's your hand?" And he's, "Oh, it's between these two pillows." And Neal looks down and he's like, "Those aren't two pillows." And he like Neal jumps out of bed and it's just like absolute chaos, and it's just two grown men that just jump out of bed like they've been struck by lightning, and it's funny that he realizes that he didn't have his hand between pillows. Anyway, so they're trying to pull themselves together, and Neal goes into the bathroom to wash his face, and it's just tragic. So he splashes some water on his face from the sink, and he looks in the mirror and he's okay, new day. And he realizes that the water came straight out of Dell's socks, and it's like
And
Dell
his
was
underwear?
like soaking his socks in the sink, and Neal used the water from the sink like to splash it on his face, and then he went to go reach for a towel and realizes that it's actually Dell's underwear that he used to dry his face. So it's like just a full like horror show. So Neal decides to call home, and he's just trying to sound casual, and he's, yeah, spent the night in a motel room with a stranger. And yeah, so the Thanksgiving travel update is that I'm going to be home for Thanksgiving. I'm just trying to get there. And she's like, all right, see you then. So Dell and Neal go to the diner that I think is attached to the motel, and they decide to have breakfast. And Neal goes to pay, and surprise, all of his cash is gone. And instantly he's, Dell, what did you do? And Dell's, yeah, I didn't steal your dough, man. And it hits them both that they got robbed and all their money's gone. Now they're broke and they're stranded, and they still can't get a flight home. So Dell, who's an optimist, is, yeah, don't worry. I got a friend named Gus. He owns a railroad. Or at least he says he owns a railroad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, who owns a railroad? But Gus's son is going to pick them up and drive them to the station. So enter Owen, who is Gus's son. He's a total country boy, and he pulls up in this beat up pickup truck. He's chewing tobacco, and he tells his wife or girlfriend, he's put Dell's got this big trunk with him. Yeah, put that in the back. And she's just this little tiny lady. And she's small, but she's strong. Her first baby came out sideways. What?
Yeah.
It's
That would
like,
be
no,
painful.
no, we'll do it. And so they have to sit in the bed of the truck, and it's like freezing outside. And so they're just riding in the back of the truck, and Neal's, how much further is this train station? And Dell's, I don't know, like 30, maybe 40 miles away, but no more than like 35, which doesn't even make any sense. But they're bouncing around in the back of the truck, and Neal sees like a pair of gloves buried in like some hay. And he goes to grab them, and this dog just jumps out of the hay. And the dog's like growling at him, and basically, yeah, forget the gloves. So they show up at this train station, and everybody's like a popsicle. Their faces are covered in frost, and it's pretty funny. They go to get on the train, and Dell's, hey, I'm going to pay you back for that ticket. And Neal says, no, it's a gift. Don't worry about it. But I couldn't get us seats together. I'm up in the front, you're in the back, which I think he pretty much did that on purpose. And Neal's finally, I'm going to be able to rest. He's sitting next to this young girl, and he tries to make conversation with her. And it's funny because, like, they have this pause where you see the trip is kind of getting underway. And this girl is, like, dead asleep, like, hanging out of her seat. It's pretty funny. And then the train breaks down. And he's, oh my God, are you kidding me? Another problem. So the train breaks down. Everybody has to get off the train. And the train conductor's, yeah, so you're going to have to walk like a mile and a half to catch a bus to Jefferson City. And then you're going to have to figure it out from there. So everybody has to trudge a mile and a half.
I
Like,
would lose my shit.
yeah, I would be so livid. It was like through a field.
Yeah.
How did we survive before Uber?
Yeah. Oh my
I don't know.
God.
I guess taxi cabs, but
Yeah. So there they are trudging through the snow, and you see Dell trying to pull his trunk, and Neal comes up behind him and he's like, all right, I'll help him. So now they're at a bus station and they get on a bus and they head towards St. Louis. And so
Yay.
now they're on a bus and they start singing. And they start
I
singing.
love this.
I
I
know. They
love
I
the
love
scene.
this. Yeah, it's
they start singing the Flintstones theme song. It's pretty funny because actually they're singing a different song first, and then Dell's, hey Neal, why don't you sing a song? And Neal starts singing some song that everybody's, what the hell is he singing?
It was quite a downer.
And then
Yeah.
Dell's, okay, how about this? Flintstones,
Beach family
and everyone
from the
starts,
town
yeah.
of Bedrock. Oh, sorry.
yeah, and so everybody starts singing along. So they're just having a great time. So that was funny. And anyway, so they get to St. Louis and Dell's, we got to make some money. We don't have any money here. So Dell decides, I'm going to start selling shower curtain rings to people.
Oh my God.
And you hear him like making up these funny stories about what they are. Like, oh, these were worn by Diane Sawyer. These are
This is
filled
like
with
if Dad sold shower curtain rings.
Yes. These are filled with helium. They're super lightweight. And like he makes $100
Good.
off of them. Yeah, it's hilarious. And so he makes like pretty good money off of selling like just these cheap like plastic shower curtain rings that you can buy at like the Dollar Tree. So they end up like Neal and Dell end up going and grabbing something to eat. And Neal is kind of like, you know what? You're holding me back. I think we should split up. Traveling with two people is a bad idea. I think we should just kind of split up. And you can tell that Dell's pretty upset by this.
Yeah.
And Dell kind of walk away like,
Mad.
yeah, he's pretty pissed. And he's, I guess I'll pay for the food. And here's the couple bucks that I owe you for the bus ticket. And anyway, so now Neal's irritated. He's been through it. And now he's trying to rent a car because he wants to get home. And you'd think that you'd think that would be easy. And he gets to the rental lot, gets on the shuttle bus, and he rides all the way out to his assigned spot. And the guy on the bus is, yeah, space V5, it's a Lincoln, blah, blah, blah. And so he gets off that bus and he's walking to the spot like, yes, I'm finally headed home. And the car's just not there. And he's like a million miles away from the terminal to the, I don't know what airport he was at, that he was at this car rental place. So he's like screaming at this shuttle, wait, the car's not here. And he realizes that he's going to have to get all the way back to the terminal. And he loses it. He's like screaming at the sky and he's just throwing his stuff on the ground. And finally he just starts trudging it back to the terminal and he's pissed. And finally makes it back to the terminal. He's covered in slush. And the lady behind the counter, who is the secretary for
Fair. Edie
The
McClurg.
the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, she's been in
She's been in those-
everything.
She's behind the counter and she's like talking on the phone with somebody about Thanksgiving dinner. And he's just staring at her like, get off the damn phone.
And she just
And
keeps going.
She just keeps going. And
A huge line behind him, too.
yeah,
I know.
she's just perfectly
you're fired.
calm. Perfectly calm. And she's, welcome to Marathon Car Rental. How can I help you? And he just snaps. And it's just like total potty mouth, like dropping F-bombs. You're going to get me a fucking car right
Yeah.
fucking now. Fuck you. Fuck that. Like, just every word is fuck.
I think it
And
was 16 fucks in 60 seconds or something.
something like
Yeah.
that.
That's what the
she's-
trivia I saw said.
She's, okay, do you have your rental agreement? And Neal's, I threw it away. And without missing a beat, she's, oh, then you're fucked. It's so calm and it's great. So Neal is officially out of options and he walks outside to a taxi stand and he walks up to I don't know, whoever is like the dispatcher guy for the taxi cabs.
Yeah.
And he's, hey man, like, where you headed? And he's Chicago. And the guy's, wouldn't it be easier to just take a plane?
Bro,
And
no.
Neal's just, you know what? I'm over this. And he's, if I wanted a joke, I'd follow you into the John and watch you take a leak. Which is really bold. And
Great.
yeah, it's good. But the taxi guy was like, not having it. And that guy just punches him right in the face. And Neal goes flying into the street and he's just laid out. And a car comes down the road and almost hits him and just slams on the brakes. And guess who's driving that car? Of
Del.
course, it's
Del.
And Dell jumps out of the car and he's, hey, what's going on here? And he's yelling at the cab guy and he's, you got to get him up out of the street. And the cab guy's, oh, sure thing. And he proceeds to kick Neal right in the nuts. And then he cut to this scene where Neal and Dell are now in the car together, of course. And Neal's sitting there in total pain. And he's talking like 2 octaves higher than normal. And Dell's trying to make small talk with him, acting like nothing happened. But they're also rolling back towards Chicago. So, I guess
Slowly
that's
but
good.
surely.
Yep.
All right. So at this point, Neal finally falls asleep in the passenger seat. And Dell's behind the wheel. He's feeling good. He's cruising down the highway. He's vibing. He's got music on. He's smoking. He's relaxed. Almost too relaxed. And he finishes his cigarette and he just tosses it in the back seat. No big deal.
He didn't mean to toss it in the back seat. He tries to
Yeah.
flick it out the window and it comes back. So he
He
doesn't
flicks
know
it.
it's there.
Dell is, he's kind of like, yeah, I'm starting to get a little hot. I think I'm going to start taking off my jacket while I'm driving. But he's wiggling around and then his hand kind of gets caught in a lever on the side of the seat and he's swerving around on the road and he's also steering with his legs while he's trying to wiggle out of this coat and he ends up spinning out on the road and Neal ends up waking up and he's, Dell, what the hell just happened? And Dell's totally calm and he's like, yeah, we almost hit a deer. No big deal. So they keep driving and Dell doesn't realize that after he spun out that he's actually going the opposite direction. So this car pulls up next to them and they're screaming at them like, you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. Neal's, what are you saying? And they're like, you're going the wrong way. And he just looks at Dell and he's like, how do they know where we're going? They don't know where we're going. Just, okay, thanks.
Okay, crazy people.
And then they're still yelling at him. He looks forward and he sees 2 semis headed towards them. And he's, we're on the wrong side of the road. And as they scream, like the semi horns are blaring and somehow they manage to squeeze right between those trucks. And the sides of the car are all scraped up. Sparks are flying. And in a split second, like you see this shot where both of them turn into like skeletons and they're
Yeah.
just screaming.
Yeah.
And Del actually morphs into the devil and he's cackling like a maniac. It's pretty funny. And then like Del slams on the brakes and everything goes flying, like his trunk, the suitcases, all their stuff just launches into the air and it slams down onto the highway behind them. And like when everything just settles, like Neal's fingers are just embedded into the dashboard and the steering wheel looks like Del has folded it in half because he's like holding it so hard. And they just stumble out of the car and Del's like laughing hysterically, like it was so funny. And Neal is just staring at him like, what the fuck? And so they walk out onto the highway and they're gathering their stuff and they grab the trunk and they move it to the side and they both sit on the trunk. And I think Del turns around and he looks at the car and they're like,
Yeah.
ah, the car's on fire. And he looks back and then the other one looks back and they're like, car's on fire. And this is where Neal looks at Del and he's, you know what? You did this to yourself. And he's, the rental car company is definitely coming after you for that car. And Del's, nah, it's fine. I paid for that car with the shower curtain ring money. And Neal's,
No, he just
"Ah."
says with the shower curtain.
Oh, with the
rings.
shower curtain rings. And
'Cause
he's
it's like, what?
I'm sorry, you can't pay for a rental car with shower curtain rings. And Doll's, yeah, okay, you know what? You're right. I might have used your Diners Club card. And you can see that Neal is like steam is just coming from his ears.
Right.
He's, Del, give me my card. And Dell's, yeah, about that. When we stop for gas, I put it back in your wallet. And Neal's, okay, so where's my wallet? And Dell just points at the flaming wreck of a car behind them.
Of course.
Because,
but Neal put his wallet
did,
in
yeah.
the glove compartment.
right. So Neal had put his wallet in the glove box when they got in the car. But so sure, it's both of their fault. So Neal's jaw drops and Dell's, are you mad at me? And before he can even finish
So
the
funny.
yeah, and before he can even finish
You're
the
mad at me.
sentence, like Neal just punches him right in the gut. Somehow, miraculously, that burnt, half-melted car still runs.
Engine was still good.
Yeah, engine was still fine. They managed to drive that to a hotel. It's this even worse hotel than the one before. And Neal manages to talk the hotel employee to give him a room for $17.50, which is all he had on him, and his watch for a room. But he does not allow Del to stay in that room with him because he's so mad at Del. Neal is just fed up and he's, you're sleeping in the car, man. I don't care what happens to you at this point. So you see Del get into this burnt out wreck of a car and Del's just sitting there. He's got a winter coat on, a hat and his gloves.
So sad.
And he's just talking to the sky.
He's talking to his wife.
He's talking to him. He's talking to himself. He's talking to the sky. Then he's talking to his wife.
Right.
And it's really heartbreaking. And he's just saying how much he misses his wife, that he'll be with her soon.
He tells her that she's right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm too much. I'm like, you've always told me. So he's talking to himself, but he's talking into the air to his wife and just saying how she's right.
Yes. It's very sad. And so Neal's trying to fall asleep, but he can hear Del outside talking. And it hits him. And Neal looks outside and he sees him out there shivering. And he's, all right, fine. So he looks out, he opens the door and he says, you're going to freeze to death out there. And so he invites him into the hotel room. And so it cuts to the two of them drinking those mini hotel liquor bottles, like the little ones that you get like on a flight.
Airplane
Um,
bottles. Yeah.
airplane bottles, and they're eating chips. They start talking about life, and Dell says, "The only thing that I'll really leave behind are shower curtain rings that didn't break." And Neal tells him, "Yeah, but you've got a wife that you truly love." And then Dell says, "Love's not a big enough word for how I feel about her."
Yeah.
And they raise their
Aw.
yeah. So they raise their bottles and they toast to their wives, and Neal looks at him and says, "Dell, you're one unique individual." And then he goes, "One day, I hope I can look back on all of this and laugh."
Yeah.
All right. So the next morning, the snow is deep, and the guys are trying to get that half melted car out of the motel parking lot. Neal's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, careful. Let's just ease it out." And Dell's classic Dell. He slams it in reverse and launches it straight through the motel window, just right through their motel room window.
Yep.
Full glass explosion. It's chaos. And Dell's like unfazed, and he just throws it in drive like, "We're committed to this now." And they take off down the road. The tires are wobbling, and I'm surprised that the wheels didn't actually fall off. And of course, they get pulled over. And the cop walks up. Oh my gosh, who's the cop? I forgot to make a note about it. The
It's
cop.
Lenny.
Yeah, it's Lenny from, damn it. I meant,
Michael McKean.
yes, Michael McKean. So Lenny from Lenny and Squiggy. And so he pulls him over and he's, "Yeah, I can't let you guys drive this car. It's not safe." He actually asked them, like, "Do you think this is safe to drive?" And Dell's like, "Yes, yes, I do think it's
do.
safe. I
Yes,
do.
it's just fine.
It's fine." And so he's, "Yeah, I can't let you drive it." He impounds the car. So now they're stranded again. But Dell, he gets all sand in the desert. So he somehow finds them another ride. And this semi driver offers to take them the rest of the way. But they have to ride in the back of this semi with cheese, like actual
Boxed.
blocks of cheese.
Cheese.
They finally make it to Chicago. And they get to the L train station, and Neal thanks Dell for helping get him home. And he's actually being very sincere this time. And Dell smiles and says, "Next time, let's go first class." And Neal says, "God, I hope there isn't a next time." But you can tell that he means it with love. And Neal boards the train,
Yeah.
waving goodbye. As the train rolls away, he's sitting there and he's staring out the window, thinking all about the chaos that they've been through. Dell kissing him on the ear, the car fire, the shower curtain rings, every disaster. But now it's actually funny. It's sweet. You can see it in his face that he gets it now. Then you
But he's
see,
kind of back and forth from like things with Dell, like to his family.
yeah. So like you can
There's
see
different things.
that
There's a
he's
tie-in here.
yeah, he's reminiscing about his family at home, them setting the Thanksgiving table, them waiting for him, his wife smiling, the kids getting ready. But Neal's still thinking about Dell. And then suddenly he realizes something. You see him turn around on the train, and he heads back to the station, and he sees Dell just sitting there alone in the empty terminal. And Neal's like, "What are you doing here, Dell? You should be at home." And Dell looks at him and he says, "I don't have a home. Marie's been gone for 8 years." And it hits you after all that comedy and chaos. This guy, this sweet, loud shower curtain ring salesman, has been alone all this time. We cut to Neal and Dell walking down Neal Street together, dragging that giant trunk. The snow is falling. It's quiet. They reach Neal's house, and Dell looks at him and says, "You're a lucky man, Neal." Neal knocks on the door. His daughter opens the door and she screams, "Daddy!" And everyone is happy that Neal is back. And Dell is standing there smiling. It's the perfect ending to the chaos, comedy, heart, and finally home. So cue the music and roll the credits.
It is an interesting shot right before it cuts to black.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you, Carol,
Yeah.
did you notice that too?
Oh, yes. Just of Dell with a black eye, it appears.
Yeah, like cool if I like fine it ended. I don't have any issue with that. It was just an interesting last shot.
Yes, I could have seen like a shot with Neal with his family and like embracing them and them all smiling, laughing, and then cutting to black. But it's just of Dell's face smiling, looking at the family, and then cutting to
Yeah.
black. Like he was finally happy to be a part of something.
Yeah.
It's very profound.
Yep. Planes, trains, and automobiles, folks.
So we get to the fun segment here where we talk about the critical acclaim that this movie got. And the tomato meter gives it a 93%,
Woohoo!
which, yeah, seems accurate. And popcorn meter gives it an 87%, which is really good for the popcorn meter. And the critical consensus overall was that because of the impeccable chemistry between Steve Martin and John Candy, as well as that mix of humor and heart, this movie is a hilarious and heartfelt holiday classic.
Our beloved Roger Ebert said the movies that last, the ones we return to, don't always have lofty themes or Byzantine complexities. Sometimes they last because they are arrows straight to the heart. I
And he
actually
gave it
like
4
that
out of
one.
4.
Yeah, I actually liked his review on that.
Yeah.
And then the variety staff said man versus technology has been one of the staples of screen comedies since the earliest silent days. And Hughes makes the most of the format here, packing as many of the frustrations of modern life as he can into this travel log of roadside America, which is basically just a long way of saying, yeah, people get pretty fucked with traveling over holidays.
Yeah. Yeah.
But go variety staff. And Janet Maslin from the New York Times gave it a splat. So screw you, Janet. And she said the film does have its scattered moments, but too often the audience has as much reason as Dell and Neal do to wonder where, if anywhere, they are going. I don't agree with that. We completely know from the beginning that he is trying to get to Chicago.
Did she even watch the movie?
It's more about getting to Chicago.
Right. That's like the entire theme of the movie.
Asshole.
So, yeah. Bite me, Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
Yeah. Janet's more of a Karen.
What's your assessment on this, Janine?
Like my cringe meter?
Yeah.
No, it's not really. It's 0. It's not even on the meter.
Yeah.
Would I
Agreed.
rewatch it? During the Thanksgiving season, I feel like it's appropriate. If it came on and I was real bored, yes. It's a cute movie. I think before we watched it for this, I probably wouldn't have. But now that we've watched it, I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that this movie was actually based off of John Hughes's own hellish trip from New York
Experience.
City to Chicago.
Chicago.
Yes.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's a true story.
Based off.
Based off of.
Loosely based off of.
Yes. Yeah. If it came on and I had nothing else to do, yeah, I would probably watch it.
I'm going to agree with the not really on the cringe meter. I had 0 cringe whatsoever. If it were playing on a station on the weekend, I would glance at it and have it on in the background, but I wouldn't necessarily sit down and actually take in every scene. But there were some very comical parts that I'd be like, oh, this good scene's coming up. And I would want to make sure to be able to watch that scene. But I wouldn't necessarily sit down and watch the entire thing. But it is a very good, feel good holiday movie that does go over the complexities of travel, which luckily we don't have to do, but I think it embodies a lot of the stressors that the holiday season brings. So I give it a not really, and I will listen to it.
Good. I'm the same way. It doesn't register on the cringe meter for me at all. It resonates with me as one who used to travel over 100,000 miles a year. The trials and tribulations of just trying to get home. And brings back one year I think we were going from Hawaii to Ohio, and we were in O'Hare, and we had a canceled flight due to snow in Cleveland. We had No, we must have been in California because we had dogs. We had both dogs with us, and the flights were canceled. We have no way home. It was weather, so nobody was putting us in a hotel. We rented a minivan. We drove through this winter storm to Cleveland overnight. It was absolutely horrible. And it it hits you in the feels of anger, frustration, helplessness, all that. And they do it with such perfect comedy timing, and the writing just so fantastic. I agree with Janine. I think that during this month of November, absolutely, if I'm doing laundry or cleaning up, if it's on, I'll keep it on. And yeah, if it's a Saturday in June, probably not, but I think it's a good holiday movie.
Concur.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Was that when your dog was pooping all over the airport?
Yes, Janine, yes. That's exactly when Zoe had diarrhea all over the United terminal. That is correct.
So yours was planes, minivans, and dog poop.
That is correct.
Excellent. Okay.
Awesome.
Wow, this was a lot of fun.
It was.
This was a nice.
The most fun I've had all day.
It's the start of the holiday season,
Yes.
folks.
Yeah, we're out of the gore of Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Turkey Day.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet. Calm down.
When this
Fine.
comes out, when is this coming
Yeah,
out? I hope
nice.
you're prepping for your Thanksgiving meals and you've got an amazing menu prepared and
Well, it comes out November 11th. So
okay.
yeah, we're planning. We're planning our
Cool.
feasts and stuff.
Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah. Happy Veterans Day.
I guess we should probably
call.
figure out what we're doing for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got time. We'll figure it out.
exactly.
But the next time we meet, we will actually be all in person again.
We will
Yes.
be, and we're gonna do it right this time.
Oh, that's
Yay.
awesome. I love that
We'll
for
have
us.
we'll have working mics.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us today. We know you have had your choice of podcasts, and it means so much to us that you are choosing to spend some of your time reminiscing with us.
If you have had as much fun as we did, hit follow, leave a review, and share this episode with your fellow 80s movie lovers.
Until next time, be kind and don't forget to rewind. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.